Para 5 years.
Perfect. The so and so learned principal government advocate cannot dispute that the UGC regulations prevail, and he points out that this clause is not part of the subsequent circular dated 17/1/2002. In the light of the submissions of Shri so and so, this court must observe that the state must consider continuation of this clause lest the impugned clause 6 is cited without application of mind to the prevailing circumstances to accommodate those who do not possess minimum qualification as guest lecturers in terms of the UGC regulations. Then para 6 minutes. The petitioner's grievance with the weightage as observed is premised in the provisions of the so and so rules. Shri K. Ravishankar submits that the provisions of Rule 6B of the collegiate recruitment rules, which provide for weightage, must be applicable even in the case of weightage in the appointment of guest lecturers, and he draws support from the amendment to these rules in the year 2014 to contend that the weightage is now completely excluded. This court is not persuaded by this argument to observe against the weightage that is contemplated in the impugned circular dated 17/1/2022. The weightage is accorded to recognize experience as guest lecturers, and it is subject to the weightage being granted for a maximum period of 16 years at the rate of 3 marks for every academic year. This weightage facilitates the settled proposition that one set of temporary employees must not be substituted by another set of employees. It is undisputed that each year notifications are issued calling for applications for appointment of guest lecturers, and after selection the candidates are appointed for that particular academic year, with the process being repeated every next academic year. The method of according weightage to the past service as contemplated in the impugned stipulation in circular dated 17/1/2022 ensures that the salient rule as aforesaid has its play. Therefore, this court is of the view that the method of granting weightage is reasonable, especially because it is subject to a maximum of 16 years at the rate of 3 marks for every academic year and is applicable across the state. For the foregoing, the writ petition stands disposed of with the observation that the government must consider continuing clause 6 of the impugned government order dated 14/1/2022 for the academic years hereafter in the light of regulation 13 of the UGC regulations. Now, my lords, in compliance with this order, the state government, my lords, after considering the matter, has come up, my lords, with a 2023 government order, which was subject matter, my lords, before the learned single judge, which is at Annexure H, page 117, operative portion, my lords, at page 121.
Yes.
Now, my lords, page 121, we have, my lords, in the preamble portion, my lords, we have stated that in view of the fact that from 2003, these guest lecturers have continued and we are replacing them. Instead, so we continued the same norms that if you have a PG degree, you can you are eligible. The additional UGC qualification of having a PhD and NET or SLET was used only for the purpose of determining additional points, so that the persons who have that qualification, additional qualification, my lords, will be higher in the priority list. So kindly see, my lords, this operative portion I'll just read. As per the details of the proposal and in that background, for the academic year 22-23, as per the following eligibilities through online counseling, 10,901 guest faculties should be selected as per the workload, and the following conditions should be followed, and government has approved the order. Those guest faculties who are recruited for the academic year 2021-22 has to be continued as per the government letter so and so till 31/1/2023, but this government permission of extension was modified on 28/1/23, and they should be paid honorarium and compulsory relief from the services. As per government order dated 14/1/22, that was, my lords, earlier, which was in challenge, and presently following eligibilities, serial number 6 speaks that UGC has fixed that required eligibilities for those guest lecturers, and also fixed 3 years time to acquire those higher eligibilities within 31/1/2025. All the guest lecturers should acquire required UGC educational qualifications, otherwise they will not be considered for the purpose of counseling of guest lecturers. So, my lords, what we did, I'll just read the operative portion before taking, my lords, to the findings. Page 58.
Yeah.
This writ petition is allowed in part. The response number 1 and 2 are directed to ensure complete compliance of the minimum qualification as prescribed by the UGC response number 3 under the UGC regulations before selecting any candidates for the post of guest lecturers. It is made clear that in view of the order passed in WP number so and so and connected cases, that is the previous order, the marks prescribed for past service for a maximum period of 16 years at the rate of 3 marks shall continue to be applied. It is also made clear that the response number 1 and 2 shall not select any candidate who does not possess minimum qualification as prescribed in the UGC regulations 2018, and shall not select any candidate by placing a condition on him or her that he shall obtain requisite qualification, namely NET, SLET, SCT before 31/1/2025 unless she is awarded with a doctorate or is registered for a doctoral program prior to July 2009. Now, my lords, what the learned single judge has asked us to do is, he has, my lords, done away with the condition that I had put and asked us to recruit the guest lecturers, my lords, strictly in terms of the UGC regulations. We are following the UGC regulations, but the additional qualification of PhD or NET and SLET, my lords, we had given an exemption in respect of persons who had continued from 2003, so as not to replace a temporary set of employees with another set of temporary employees as held by this court in the earlier order. So, my lords, insofar as the guest lecturers is concerned, the submission of the state is this: the UGC regulations, my lords, prescribe the minimum qualification in respect of a regular lecturer, and also it provides for what is known as a contract lecturer. But guest lecturers, my lords, are not covered under the regulations. So therefore, my lords, the state, in view of the fact situation obtaining, my lords, from 2003, based on the ground realities, my lords, we have come out with this government order. After reconsidering the matter in the light of the earlier order, my lords, of this of the previous writ court. Now, my lords, what happened was this: this order, they challenged this order in the context of 23-24. 23-24, nothing happened because the matter was pending before this honorable court. When 24-25 was due, this order was passed. Now, my lords, we filed this writ appeal. Then, in view of the fact, my lords, that there was no stay order and I had to actually recruit guest lecturers, what I did was I issued a counseling notification strictly in terms of this order, stating that only those people who are eligible who are UGC qualified will be eligible to be counseled. Now, that was challenged in a multiple batch of petitions, and there, my lords, there were interim orders, my lords, that they should not be disturbed. So what happened was 24-25, it was spent out, my lords, only, my lords, through interim orders itself. Now, in view of the fact, my lords, that 25-26 is due for us, because August is the month, my lords, when the courts will start. So therefore, we had created some urgency, so that there is a quietus to this issue, whether we have to, my lords, follow the UGC regulations, or whether, my lords, we can go by our policy. But the difficulty, my lords, that we had placed before this honorable court was this: that for the previous year, my lords, the statistics we required was, we required around 10,000 guest lecturers, my lords. I just had this tabulated statement. Can I just pass on? This was the statistics, my lords, for 23-24, but to be continued for 24-25, my lords, total requirement, my lords, at that stage was 9,000, but my lords, this year it is around 10,000. Now kindly see, continued for 24-25, we have a column. Around 8,561 were continued. That was, my lords, in view of the interim orders, they got continued. Now, out of this 8,561, the number of people who are UGC qualified is 4,233. Can you note this, my lords? And non-UGC, my lords, that is, they have UGC qualification, but not the additional qualification, is 4,087. So even, my lords, if I follow the order of the learned single judge, I will not be able to meet the work. I will not be able to meet the requirement. So, my lords, today I am faced with a situation where, my lords, the entire idea, modus operandi of the persons, my lords, who are actually in service today, who are continued as guest lecturers for 24-25 in view of the interim orders, batch of petitions are pending, and in view of the fact that my writ appeal was pending, my lords, they continued 24-25. Now 25-26 I have to counsel. Now even if I follow this order, I have a shortfall. So my respectful submission is, my lords, for 25-26, if my lords were pleased to stay this order, I will continue, my lords, my government order. In the meantime, my lords, we will come up with a proper policy for the coming academic year. Otherwise, my lords, the state of affairs is that I still have a shortfall, and on the basis of interim orders, people are continuing, around 8,000 people are continuing. So this is,
give us this in your memo. Give us this statistics.
Please, my lords.
Find this memo. Yes.
I appear for UGC, my lords. The My first contention that submission of the learned AAG that as far as guest faculties are concerned, UGC has not prescribed any qualification may not be the correct submission, my lords. Regulation 13 of the UGC regulation, by which the qualification for the direct under regulation 3 and 4, my lords, prescribes the condition for direct recruitment for the full-time teachers. Very same regulation, lordship will get it at page 263 of the writ petition.
Continue tomorrow. Meanwhile, you file your
Please, Mr.
position.
But sir, this was the statistics mellows for 24-25. I have new statistics also. We can supply additional inputs. I'll file it along with the memo tomorrow.
And also literature figures how many UGC qualified, how many net select qualified are there.
Please, Mr. I will.
What is the short?
What is the short? Please, Mr. Grateful.
IF filed, my lord, in this case for impleading. My lord, that may is not put up, my lord, it's okay.
Yes.
My lord, an application has been filed for impleading us, my lord, as a party.
Plus, there is
That may
one.
kindly be-
There is one application, my lord, seeking to intervene in the matter. There is other impleading applications also. So there are two sets of people. One, my lords, who have UGC qualification, the other people who don't have the additional UGC qualification. So both sets, my lords, want the writ appeal to go one way or the other. So both have filed impleading applications.
So they have
Lord,
filed
I am
review
totally
petitions
different.
as well, my lords.
And
The
the
very
new
same
batch
set
has
of
come
people.
with regard to MPhil. They, my.
Sir, I am appear for MPhil candidates who are more than qualified, my lord, UGC this thing. So my, I am also has been disqualified.
Any order passed may not will also be directly affected.
Intervene, we'll hear you on the question. There's only a question.
Let's 2:30 minutes tomorrow.
My lords, in serial number 54, there's another writ appeal that has to be linked with it, my lords, which is different parties, the same cause of action, different survey numbers, my lord.
You give the number.
I'll
You give it.
Serial number 65, my lord, is a case of a medical student who's been ousted midway at the benefit of an interim order before the learned single judge of the lordships have it sometime as early as possible.
We'll give you a lead. We'll give you a
Lordship's
lead.
convening.
93, 2:30 minutes.
Yeah, come at 2.
Grateful.